Okay, we're going to talk about diversification within a brand logo. So diversification is one of the best strategies to expand the horizon of any business. The chain of restaurants and MNC achieve this by expanding their location. While several food and beverage industries often implement product and service diversification to attain the same. Either way, their original logo design has significant contributions towards the same. Today, we will study the logo design adaptation of one such brand that adapted both these techniques. The Walt Disney Company is a leading brand in the realm of mass media and entertainment, but also owns the franchise of several characters and theme parks. Let's take a look at the logo design it uses for every domain. The Walt Disney decided to go with a simple word mark type logo for its pioneer business, the Walt Disney Company. Walt Disney Animation Studio did the same. However, it also added the Mickey Mouse on top of it. Due to its trademark license, the Mickey Mouse is an intellectual property of the brand too. Eventually, all of the other Walt Disney characters were registered as well. Walt Disney Pictures is one of the most renowned logo design. The addition of the Disney Castle makes it the perfect logo for a magical world. Later on, it was modified into an animated logo with a lot of fireworks. Each of the Disneyland theme parks has a similar logo with its name inserted along with the original Disneyland logo. All of the theme parks, being the franchise of Walt Disney World, enjoy the perks of portraying the Walt Disney characters. Each channel used the original Disney wordmark logo design along with the addition of the outline of Mickey Mouse ears. It was mostly inspired by the pioneer of animated shows featured by the Disney Company, such as Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Disney XD, an upgraded TV channel, too used the original Disney with large icons of XD. This HD channel adapted the new trend but kept the essence intact. As it can be seen perfectly, this original font of Disney has been used again and again in several other Disney segment brands. Needless to say, it is yet another perfect example of an ageless logo that shines throughout the time. You too can get a customized logo design that will carry your brand name. After all, the empire of Walt Disney started with a small logo too. Committing to a brand identity for yourself or a client can easily become paralyzing. This is the sense of finality, rightfully so, that comes with establishing a brand identity. There's no going back. Better get it right from the start. But that can feel very daunting, restrictive, and paralyzing. The opposite emotion of what drove you to create a new identity, the excitement of starting a new brand or refreshing your current look. Rather than embracing paralysis, I wanted to share a few tips from a brand identity designer's perspective on how to diversify your brand so you don't feel stuck with limiting brand and instead feel inspired. The trick to overcoming the my brand is restrictive mindset is to toss in a few elements to add variety to your brand while also maintaining cohesive look and feel. So we're going to take a look at Little Poppy Company. They just did a redesign of their logo. And this is kind of how they pulled through some diversification with their actual logo mark. So the next step beyond creating a logo and its variations is to create a submark or badges. These are totally optional and not every brand has them. However, they do make a huge difference in versatility. I can speak from this personally within my own brand, as well as my own clients. Sometimes you don't want to place your entire logo, but prefer to have something else to use as a supplement. These submarks are great to use in the footer of your site, an Instagram image, promotional materials, bio images, or even as stickers. They don't replace the logo, but allow for a bit of versatility within the brand. You can see here on the slide Each of these logos on the left are showing their submarks or badges on the right. So you can see how they kind of are simplified to a more, I guess, symmetrical, simple badge of sorts, so that they can be applied in smaller applications and are a little bit more versatile. The next step to possibly diversifying your brand, making it a little bit more visually interesting as well, hands down, is one of my favorites, is to add versatility to your brand through adding a custom pattern. I really adore creating patterns, and I have found that they provide a much needed graphic element for any brand. Again, this is totally optional for your brand, but if you're looking to diversify yet maintain consistency, this might just be the route to go. This also adds interest. It makes your design look less flat. You can see on here an example of some patterns added to possibly tags or a business card where it's showing the logo, but then adding a nice pattern of sorts that is cohesive and appropriate for that brand. So another step you could take in diversifying your brand is through brand photography. As we stated, Little Poppy Company that we saw earlier, their logo mark, has really done a great job in investing in quality brand photography to show off their adorable bows available in each month's subscription. Photography adds a much needed visual face to a brand and can often be the most instantly recognizable element of any brand. I've experienced this especially on Instagram. When I'm scrolling through, I can identify a few images from different brands without looking at the username, because they have done such a good job in creating a consistent brand throughout with photography. I'm sure you probably experienced that before too, where you can see this mood being set, the type of style of photography sets you to that same tone, look, and feel of that brand. The next diversification added element could be illustration design. So you can definitely add this to your process. It adds a great aesthetic, possibly, if it's appropriate for the brand. You can do a custom illustration, and some brands benefit greatly from this added brand element. This illustration can really bode well if you're going with the textured technique as well. You can unify not only the illustration, but with also your pattern of choice, that style, the same style, to keep it all cohesive. There are illustration designs, custom ones that you can have done with a custom illustrator, but there's also stock photography illustration, and I say stock illustration, it should be not stock photography, but stock illustration that you can get as well, which is pre-designed illustrations that you can purchase for a particular job. And I have actually done both. Both are very similar in price as far as stock photography and an illustration. The nice thing about custom illustration, though, is that since it's customized, it's not widely available to everybody. So therefore, you probably won't see it everywhere, since it's not accessible to everybody as a stock illustration. All right, so those are some ideas that you can definitely diversify your brand with.